All right, go ahead. We're recording.
Okay, let's start the up-to-date buildings and facilities board committee meeting. It was originally scheduled for October 4th, postponed to October 11th. So thanks for moving that around and fitting into everybody's schedule. Quick roll call. I'm here. Mike Ware.
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
John Simpson.
He is unable to make it today.
Andy Mott.
He's coaching football.
Greg Kelly.
I'm not too sure where he is.
Julie Theander.
I'm here.
Terrific. Debbie McKay.
Unable to attend as well.
Okay. Agenda item B. Our mission is to equip every student with the knowledge and the skills necessary to be resourceful and successful. Our vision in 2030, the Estacada School District, backed by a strong collaborative organizational culture, leads the state of Oregon in graduation rates and student success. Building on a foundation of fully engaged community and families, up-to-date buildings and facilities, and sustainable finances and accountability. Estacada schools are a focal point of the community pride and advancement. Our values inspire, engage, and achieve. Okay, agenda item C. I don't have a major update. Leading into this meeting, Mike, we talked about getting an update on how contract interviews are going. So I'll leave that for your portion of the meeting here.
Yeah.
Item D, I don't think our superintendent is on this meeting. Is that correct?
That's correct. He's not.
Unless you have something in lieu of superintendent update, we'll skip that and just go right into the pillar leader update.
Yeah, I have a short little presentation as always, but before we kick off, what wasn't on the agenda is an update on our RFP, our request for proposal for our seismic rehabilitation grant project for River Mill Elementary School. We completed the RFP process late last week, and we had selected through our committee our top 3 firms that we wanted to interview. We felt like interviewing the firms was particularly important because this is going to be a bit of a journey with this firm working together side by side from the moment we are signing contracts to the end and the punch list of this project, which could be a year and a half or longer potentially, depending on which direction we go. We interviewed 3 firms: Opsis Architectural, IE Structural, and WRK Engineering and Architectural firm. Had a great conversation with each of the firms, and then proceeded to evaluate with the committee. I know Director Berman, you're planning on attending. We're not able to, but Director Walpert was able to attend along with John Simpson and Christina Weiner, our Director of Finance. We came out of that committee with 2 top out of the 3. I checked references on Friday and today, and both were just glowing references, amazing firms. So that's why the decision, we were initially supposed to make the decision on Friday, but we decided to pivot and wait to consult with our superintendent, and also just to get a little bit more information well, one second, I got someone slacking me that can't get into the meeting. I'm going to pause just for a second so I can send it to her. Okay.
Copy that.
All right. Okay, so at the same time, we were able to, again, top 2, check references, all of them very glowing, nothing to be concerned about. Spoke to a few superintendents over the state of Oregon, a couple facility managers that had done work with each firm and also are currently in projects. And so at this time, we just notified the firm WRK with the intent. This is pending our board of directors approval at the next board meeting. If that is approved and we're able to proceed, we will start with contracts and then moving forward. And really, we're very excited with WRK. I mean, just the renowned collaboration, the transparency, the creativeness from the firm. We know that typically seismic upgrades. We talk about re-roofing a building at the same time, or addressing other deferred maintenance or other issues while we have construction going on. And they have successfully been able to do that with other school districts in a very collaborative way, and with a strong partnership and with the district's best interests in mind. So we're excited about that, and look forward to moving forward as soon as we can.
Thanks for that
Yeah.
impromptu update, Mike. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I do want to note that Christy Cheshire is our Director of Technology, and she's new to our committee. I asked her to be a part of it because of technology is part of our up-to-date buildings and facilities strategic plan and action statement, action plan. So Christy's joining us today and will be joining us moving forward.
Let's just make sure we get her on the roll call on the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, will do. So wanted to talk about, John Simpson was going to talk about Ranger Woods. I just wanted to share some pictures that we had discovered. And this is more of just kind of one of the things the district is currently working through at the moment. Let me share my screen here. We know that Ranger Woods is an area where people like to congregate, if you will. And you can see we identified through community engagement and other communication of Ranger Woods, just some families or some individuals camping out and really using that space as their own. Let me see if I can move. I guess I'm gonna have to do it this way. But you can see where we had discovered a bunch of debris and trash and just ultimate, just not good stuff out there. A lot of dangerous issues where individuals were trying to cut down trees and create fires. And this is well before when the rain really started hitting. So we wanted to present this to this committee as well as the viewers that are watching, that, you know, we appreciate the communication from our community, the concerns, and we are working with our local community, our city, our SRO, our sheriff's department on trying to mitigate this safety issue. Our facilities crew went out and spent half a day with our new mower and cleaned up the brush, cleaned up a lot of the debris, and are continuing to move from north to south, if you will, to clean up the area of Ranger Woods. We're also going to be contracting or looking into contracting with a vendor to clear that area, much like we did a few years back. Given that we've already done some work, it shouldn't be a very costly project, but this will just allow improved safety. And just addressing some concerns. You can see where they're trying to build tree houses and whatnot there. So an area that, you know, our facilities team took on and without hesitation, and really started addressing the concerns out there. And the pictures don't all do it justice, but it's an area that you can see with a big concern. So I'm going to jump into the agenda, make sure I got capital improvement tracking. I'm going to jump into that real quick. We don't have any major capital improvement projects going on at the moment. We do have a number of projects that are pending and going underway in terms of getting ready to start. A few that to talk about is access control. We will be starting some preliminary installation of wiring and other minor behind the scenes work starting this month and going into the next few months. Our anticipated end date is the end of winter break, so that all of our schools will be wired up and ready for keyless entry. So we're very excited for that, and working directly closely with Christy Cheshire on that project as well. We are near the end of our portable project. The power has been turned on at River Mill, and we have power now. We're working through some minor HVACs, but we're getting darn close to occupy that. We have the employees' equipment or furniture that's in there, that's in the building, and getting ready to bring in a few other outsourced community resources. I believe our student services is working with Jen Berman, our principal at River Mill, on what other community resources will be occupying that space. The portable at the district office is just as close. We just got to hook up the power, and then we'll be ready to go to occupy, again, support services that are taking up classroom space at our elementary schools and at our high school project or high school buildings.
Mike, I'm sorry to interrupt, but were you wanting to share a PowerPoint while you were doing this?
Yeah, I was just kind of on a roll, so I decided not to stop.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. The one thing to share actually is important to share on the portables is some savings. We've talked about some of the savings that we've experienced with the portables by doing some internal renovations. On the top left, you can see our portable classroom project that we renovated and brought over from our high school. We used the estimate of $155,000 that would have cost the district a used classroom portable unit. We renovated that existing one and moved it along with utilities for about $70,000. So it's about a 55% savings to the district. So again, we've talked about that a number of times. I just wanted to back it up with the actual data and see the numbers there and going from there. Before I get into these other pieces of data here, I wanted to just finalize the capital improvement. The access road, we went out to RFP for a request for proposal for our access road at the North Complex. We unfortunately only received one bidder from the contractor. So we're reevaluating. We decided to cancel that RFP to look at the full scope of work because the initial project was going to be just gravel. Now that we're getting into the rainy season, my next step is to talk with stakeholders such as our business manager or our director of finance, superintendent, on which direction we want to go, if we want to just go full scope of work, knowing that we did not get the outcome that we wanted. So we're going to pivot on that and reevaluate and bring that back to our board in the next couple of weeks. So some opportunities for improvement or some data that we started collecting. We did a pulse survey of our high school and middle school students this last week at the end of September, just to kind of get a sense. We've been in the school for the last month and to see if they are determining if our school is clean. And you can see that we had a little bit of an increase at our high school, which is a great showing. And this is a pulse survey, obviously, so it's not the external survey that we complete with Studer, but we had a little bit of a decrease with our middle school. So one of the tactics or approaches I'm working with our middle school to see if we're continuing with the actions that we know we're working, and seeing what efforts we can make some changes to. We did try to pulse survey our elementaries, but we just didn't get the turnout that we were hoping for. And now we're into Studer survey season, so we're not really wanting to do any more internal surveys. We're actually collecting this data through Studer now, and preliminary data looks very positive in terms of our overall goal to this pillar or benchmark. Another opportunity for improvement is collecting voice from our community and families. What we tried to do 2 different times is collect survey voice at our football game on up-to-date athletic facilities. Unfortunately, not a large response. And we want to try to figure out different ways to do it so we can increase participation, because that's an important piece to our district and what we're doing within this pillar. And so looking at, we're ending our football season in a couple, well, probably not very long, hopefully not till the end of November, but soccer is going to be ending soon. We're going into basketball and then baseball. So how can we collect more voice from there? Back to some more wins to celebrate here. I wanted to show, I was preparing for this presentation and I noticed a couple pieces of data that was interesting. Work order completions in 2021 and 22 are up by 28% compared to last year. That's even with some staffing challenges that we're facing across the board. We know we have staffing issues, but we're looking at this. We contribute this to more staff and students obviously on site compared to this time last year. And then expenditures, which is an interesting data point, is that compared to last year to date, from July to now, we spent about $53,000 in work order expenditures. That's internal work order expenditures. This year, we're down to only to $28,000, so a 46% decrease from there. So I wanted to share those wins. Before I get into rounding things, I was hoping that Christy, you could share a win about our Ecf Connectivity Grant that we received.
I would be happy to. You may be aware, it's been posted by Maggie, but our district was awarded about $400,000 in ECF funds. And these funds will go directly to student learning. It's pretty exciting. It will give our students new devices and staff new devices, and also hotspots for families that need.
And approximately how much was it again?
Approximately $400,000.
And I believe that's going to replace about 1,000 devices over the next 2 years, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, huge win for us, and we're excited because then we can apply other funds towards teaching and learning and other technology innovations, excuse me, over the next couple of years. So that's a huge win by Christy and her department. So wanted to make sure we saw that.
That's great news. Thanks, Mike.
Some rounding themes. I wanted to share some rounding themes. We've done 12 parent rounding events in September. Themes are very positive. Kids are in school. I've asked Debbie McKay to average or to rank her rounding events from 1 to 4 based off the conversation and the tone and the sentiment. Out of those 12 rounding events, 3.8 is the average score. So again, we're looking like we're doing a very good job. There's still opportunities for improvement from our parents, which we're working through, but this is a great way to collect parent voice and an easy way to do it. Transportation started polling students, so talking to students as they're getting on the bus and as they're riding the bus. Bus rides are very positive, it seems right now. Wednesdays, as we know, are really long and the buses are packed. So it's an area for us to see what we can do to support that challenge. But we know that that's a big challenge since our enrollment is up, our driver workforce is down, and we still need to get those students to and from school. Other rounding themes from our employees, we asked specific questions on start of the school year. For operations, and this includes Julie's department and Christie's, as well as transportation and facilities maintenance. We're prepared and ready. Our communication has increased. Responsiveness has been increased and has been improved rather. Buildings are clean and ready, and then our systems are working. And obviously there's always opportunity for improvement, but this is the things that we're getting from our rounding events. And this is from rounding with principals, with employees, with the people you see on this call, rounding with individuals to get this information. So a good start to the school year. As we're a month in, we did learn a lot going into this school year, and I think we have opportunities to continue to learn going in the next school year. And then finally, some other evidence. When we polled the high school students, we surveyed them, 99% of those students out of, I think about 250 completed the survey. 99% of them said that their classroom is clean when they walk into their classroom. So that's, again, an improvement, a win to celebrate. And then I wanted to highlight the tech department. They did a 2-week pulse survey on the start of the school year. And we know that our tech department historically has had some challenges, whether it be staffing or different barriers in place. And we've felt the bumps from that. And I just wanted to highlight Christie's efforts, because you can see here these scores here where the experience, the problem resolved in a timely manner, and the communication is just off the charts out of a scale from 1 to 5. So, we're doing some great work. Christy's turning that department around and in the positive way, and continue doing the right stuff. So again, we're collecting a lot of data, and it allows us to find ways to improve in different ways. So before we get into the next 30 days, I wanted to jump to the agenda real quick to make sure I got everything in there. We'll get to the next 30 days in a few minutes. I talked about the athletics pulse survey, where we need to get some more involvement, and as well as a student pulse survey. We reviewed that data. SB 1149, we're working with the state on SB 1149 and how we can access those funds. It turns out myself, I'm not very educated in this area, but working with Christina Weiner, our director of finance in the state of Oregon, we identified we have about $40,000 in SB 1149 that can go towards projects approved by ODO. And so we're not moving quickly because we want to make sure we utilize those funds, but we did earmark those funds specifically to this account, which is towards anything that's efficient or improves efficiency in our district. So lighting, HVACs, it could be a boiler. So again, a nice find. Julie Theander does a big report at the end of each year to report out to Odo on what our, help me out, Julie, our expenses on our utilities, correct?
It is. It's all of
Yeah.
our utilities as well as our fuel that we
Yeah.
use, heating fuel.
Yeah, so she does that at December of every year, which helps us get more money. The district receives about 2,000 to 3,000, I believe, each month from PGE, and some of that's still going towards that biomass that we purchased from the bond a couple years back. We're almost paid off on that, but we still are able to save some money for some additional projects. So again, more money is always good for our district to be able to support areas of need. And then finally, operations video. You probably have seen my face out on YouTube, so I apologize for that. But at the same time, we've done a really good job the last couple of months on communicating our progress on capital improvements and different areas that we've been doing, whether it's small facility projects throughout the summer and just anything internal or external. We're going to pivot and change that initiative to start looking at some of the areas that are in need the most. So we can show our community and tell our story that, you know, the conversation of a bond, if we end up going for a bond ever in the near future, that there is still a need. Yes, we've been doing a lot of work. Yes, we've been applying a lot of resources to our district and to our buildings, but there's still millions of dollars that still need to be addressed. And we want to start focusing on that and show our community and our stakeholders where the need really is, so that when we're ready to go out for a bond, we have some very good information out there to support the why behind it. So excited for that opportunity. First video starts this Wednesday, and then I know we'll be doing more throughout the next few months. So, so that was my report. There was a lot of stuff, so I apologize for all the talking. Is there anything over the next 30 days that we want to focus on, or you'd like me to focus on with the other members going in next month?
Well, I don't know if you have any major purchases coming up, but the ROI sheet that we had in our last board meeting, I think it was maybe on the dishwasher ROI, was really a great piece to have. So if something's coming up, we'd love to see that data put together again as well.
Yep. As soon as we have something, I've been thinking about that. I know you guys, the committee, like that, so we will be throwing that out there every time we have major purchases for sure.
Okay. What else in the next 30 days, like facilities wise, what happens to our facility going into you know, the fall sports or winter sports?
Yeah, there's a lot of winterization going on, getting our buildings ready for winter and for the colder air. We've had some HVAC issues over the last couple of days where it's been cooler, and our facilities manager, John Simpson, has been working pretty long days to make sure we got those ready to go. We've had some heating issues. So continue working with facilities and our external vendors to make sure we're ready for those evening events and for those colder days. We still have some, I think we're getting ready to do filter replacements as well. So through our HVACs and going through there. So that's kind of on the docket the next 30 days. And I can have him report out when we meet next month. Okay.
Sounds good.
I know that we tried to do this in person. It just doesn't seem to be working out. As much as I love in-person meetings, I think we'll probably just keep going with Zoom until we can get a very consistent in-person. I know we're all very busy, and we'll just kind of continue with Zoom just to make it easy for everyone and not keep flip-flopping. So, okay. Yeah,
that was one of our goals, was consistency this year. So
yeah,
I know a lot of it's on me. So thank you for being flexible.
No, not a problem. But if there's anything else we can conclude, or anything else for the good of the order?
Yeah, there's no public comments or questions, I'm sure.
Oh, no public comments or questions.
Good of the order, none, other than Christy, terrific job on that grant. That really is great work. Thank you. Next meeting, you'll just get out a Zoom link.
Zoom link, first Monday of each month. We'll hold it. We'll have it there. Okay.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay.
Anything else, or otherwise we'll just go ahead and adjourn.
Okay, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye.